Hi. Welcome.
Thank you. So, like the previous speaker was saying, I've had moments of complete lucidity and clarity.
Well, we first take a moment to honor that. What a blessed life that you can say that. So many people on the planet would not have a clue what you're talking about. Would be nonsensical or crazy to hear something like that.
But
Don't say but.
Fight it! Fight it! You just knew it even before I said it.
I know, it's like...
So last night, we had a few people come up here and you were talking about fear, like the base of everything is fear.
No, I didn't say the base of everything.
Well, okay, well...
The base of suffering, all suffering.
Perfect.
Because under fear, there's something else.
So maybe let's talk about that.
Yes.
Because here's kind of how last night went
Great.
for me. So I've gotten really good at life, meaning nothing actually sticks. You know, like things that are seemingly big don't stick. You just kind of go on, you do what you do. But I just know that I'm scratching the surface.
Yes, that's good.
Like, I could tell that. So yesterday I was sitting up over there relating to the lady who was up here, and I started thinking, well, what is my fear? What is really my fear? And I kind of went through the checklist. It's not people, it's not material things, it's not any of that, it's not career. It's the fear of never finding out the truth.
Oh, blessed fear. That's a holy fear.
But then it was the same mental...
It doesn't have to be, though. That fear is calling you, is showing that it's these little fears, social fears we may have, are nothing. This is the big fear, that you may miss the truth of yourself.
That was the fear. And I knew I was onto something because I felt a big opening. Like
Yes.
physically, it was just... And I was like, okay, but now what?
Yes. Now what? Yes, is that you don't get to manage this. See, you talked about how skillful, beautiful, is right use of skillful intelligence. I salute you in that. But you get to a certain point where the mind has met its match. This is a point of surrender. First, you told the truth. How clear, how intelligently you told the truth about where the fear really is. And in that truth-telling, there's an opening. Then very quickly there's a, okay, how do I do this more? How do I keep this? Right? How do I know that? That's the way our minds work. That's just a survival mechanism. But this is not about survival. This is something bigger even than survival. And so the mind meets something that's unmanageable, unknowable, incomprehensible. What's left except to surrender, to open? And do you know how to surrender?
So funny enough, all of last night, all I experienced was fear. I didn't sleep at all last night. It was weird things like the trees on the lake, the darkness. And I'm like, okay, I have actually rationalized my way out of every fear in my life. What is this?
The great humbling.
So I did nothing. I just lay there all night. And one fear after the other just came. At one point, I actually thought I was separating into two people. It was really weird. But I couldn't surrender. I kind of snapped back, and then whatever it was snapped back as well.
Well, don't say you couldn't surrender, because that really denies something in you. You could say, I didn't surrender. But to say I couldn't surrender closes a door on the possibility. Really, this morning when I was speaking about willingness. You've already told the truth about the fear of fears, and it's a great fear. In your willingness to recognize your own mental limits to get that or manage that or not have that, you say, I give it up. I can't do this, but I'm willing to be shown. I'm willing to see. I'm willing to be free. I'm willing to know myself without a doubt. It's that willingness is the key. Because you know how you can not surrender. Those are techniques we learn for survival. You can't know how to do surrender because it's not a technique. It's deeper. You can simply stop doing what you are doing. You can be humbled. It's very different from being humiliated. Or very different from losing the war. It's open. Okay. I can't do it. What does that bring up? Just in that flash.
It's the dichotomy of always thinking that, you always grow up and you see some people who are going after certain things and you already have a mental script, I don't want clothes, I don't really want to look good, but this is the one thing that we all fake ourselves into believing is the true thing that everybody should want.
Mm. What do you want?
So I still want to keep wanting what I want, but you're telling me to stop doing anything about it.
Yes. Yes, it's a challenge of a lifetime.
Yes, it is.
Because it's already a maturity to get to where you can say, this is what I want. I want to be true. I want to know myself. However it's phrased, I want that, and I don't know how to get that. Mm-hmm. And you've tried this and this and this, of course. How else would you know you don't know how to get that? That's already a very advanced knowledge. I don't know how to get that. And that's the humbling. That's the slap of life. It says, yes, you can do all these things, great, but so what? What do you really want? And that's where you're on the ground in prostration to the guru life, the Satguru life. Show me, take me. Every religion, every teaching has in its center that surrender. Because what you're really surrendering in that moment is this. Where's Sandy? I really loved what you said in the small group about identity. In that moment, you are surrendering your identity as the one who will know or will get.
Seek or will do anything.
Yeah, you're surrendering it. That's all you have to surrender as a human life form.
Yeah.
And that's your ultimate power, this power of misidentity, me as separate from what I want, and you surrender it. Oh, I like how smart you are. That's very useful. There's a danger with it, too. But I think you're aware of that.
Oh. Yeah, I figured out a long time ago that I couldn't understand this. It was beyond understanding.
Beautiful. That's the truth. And to figure that out, that's an acknowledgement of the taste. That you know that when you say, whoa, it's so total, how could some explanation capture it? So this is a perfect place to just rest and not have a timeline.
Yes.
Or, yeah, well, I'm waiting. I've been here a day.
That's like you verbalizing what I'm thinking.
Yes, I understand you very well.
Apparently, yes. Thank you so much.
Oh, so happy you bring this here. So happy you bring yourself. You know, so many people you would talk to, you say, what do you mean you don't want to look good? What do you mean you don't want new clothes? What do you want the self, the truth? This is really unusual, has been unusual. I've called it a mutation. I think it might be a mutation, because it doesn't mean you're happier than those people who just want new clothes or just want to look good or have a successful career. They can be quite happy. And it's not to do with happiness. It's some mystery that what you want is different. Because I know many of us have had the experience of being isolated and alone in that, because it doesn't make sense in the cultural story, except for extraordinary human beings like the Buddha or Christ or different saints who leave it all and then find it and lead it, and then religions get built up around it that wreck the world. So it's this. So I just want to acknowledge that in you, and that the part of the gift of retreat is that you're on retreat with like-minded people. They may have had taste, they may not have had taste, they may consider themselves enlightened or unenlightened. It's much deeper than that. You are here with other human beings from lots of different kinds of experiences and lives, but who are called to something incomprehensible that won't be satisfied with anything but your whole life. Very simple.